Hello and welcome into Game 75's review. The Bruins would take on the Winnipeg Jets, and they would sadly be handed the 5-4 loss. Coming in tonight, the Bruins were 2 points behind Tampa, leaving with the overtime loss there. Now 1 point behind Tampa, and looking back at it, many opportunities to win the game. Sadly, we did not win the game. We lost 5-4. Some scrub from Providence College got a hat trick. I mean, at least he's local. At least I think he is. Play PC. Might be local. Anyway, there were no lineup changes coming into this game, which is kind of rare, considering how many people we have injured. Usually people would be coming back or not, but considering we're in the Central and a lot of people are not on the trip, like McAvoy Char didn't go on the trip. They're just hanging around Boston, and Charlie McAvoy was actually at the regionals in Worcester this past weekend. So, yeah, no lineup changes coming in. And even first period, similar shots and chances, and 5 minutes into the game, Brandon Tanev puts Winnipeg up 1-0. And this goal has some controversy around it. It never went in. Flat out just never went in. This puck never crosses the goal line. Basically what happens is Kopp, I believe it is. Yep, Kopp takes a shot, and Tanev going to work down low like he should. Starts whacking in, tries to whack it in. It looks like it goes in live, but then when they show it, it really never crosses the line. The official there went like that. A lot of people thought he was doing the no-goal wave out. He wasn't. He just put his hands up like that. That means stop a play, not no goal. But they go to center ice, and the first call is goal. That is the first time it's called a goal or not a goal, is right there where he skates center ice. Really not too much to read into here. It didn't go in, but they counted it as in. So we went to review, and they couldn't conclude it wasn't in or out, which I thought it was out. They counted a goal. So there you go, Brandon Tanev. Congrats on your 5th of the year, and not your last in the game. And by the way, the linesman ruled that in from mid-ice, which is ridiculous. Anyway, 1 minute left in the period. Pasta at mid-ice, launches it in the air across the ice. Scheifele catches it. Krejci pressures him. The pressure forces a turnover. Donato then picks it up off the turnover. Makes a nasty move around, I believe it was Joe Morrow. Yeah, he beats Joe Morrow, which is sweet as a Bruins fan. Then roofs it backhand to beat Hellebuyck glove side to make it 1-1. That was 1 minute left in the period, if I did not already say that. Big goal, big momentum goal going into the second. And how we use that momentum. And Brandon Tanev scores his second of the game, 16 seconds into the second period. This is trash. First off, Krug jumps the play and assumes it's just going to go in the zone. Doesn't. Marchand, sloppy turnover. Trash. Great pass by whoever gets it. One second, let me look at the board here. Lowry. Great outlet pass to Tanev to create the 2-on-1. Because Krug's up. Only one defender back. It's Carlo. So Tanev gets the puck. I don't know who was on the opposite side. But it's a 2-on-1. Carlo overcommits to the pass badly here. And Tanev takes it and shoots it and beats Hudobin. And bad on Carlo for overcommitting to the pass. He just let him walk in and shoot. Bad on Krug for overplaying. Bad on Marchand for the turnover. And they came out 16 seconds into the period. This goal scored. I think they just weren't ready mentally. But I kind of just chalked it up to that, and I moved on. And so Winnipeg with Joe Morrow goal like 5 minutes later, 4 minutes later, something like that. But yeah, on to the next page of notes. So yeah, 6:25. So a few minutes later, icing waved off. I'm not editing that. Icing waved off. Bruce Cassidy was pissed about this though, but he slaps around the boards. Bruce assumed the guy was going to get there first. The ref knew that Wheeler was going to get there first. Wheeler gets there first, forces it down the boards to Scheifele. Scheifele finds Morrow coming in the zone. Morrow with an absolute ripper. Top left beats Hudobin. I do not like seeing Joe Morrow score against us. I don't think Bruce is right. I think it was the right call to call off that icing. Sucks, but it is what it is. Good goal by Morrow. Bruins caught off guard because they thought it was going to be icing. Moving on to the next goal. And, ooh, wait, no. That was to make it 3-1. My bad. So that was the third goal, right? Yeah, that was the third goal. And there were no more goals in this period. I almost just messed up. But if I did not mention this, Josh Morrissey What do you have against us? What do you have against us? Why are you going after people with 3 seconds left in the period? Matt Grzelcyk is against the boards. 3 seconds left in the second period. And here comes Morrissey just into Grzelcyk like that on the numbers, and this is just dirty. He gets a 5-minute major for it. Turtles when Kevin Miller comes to beat the crap out of him, and I would too if Kevin Miller came at me. But you know, you're a hockey player. I'm just in my basement right now. But anyway, like it's dirty. It's classless, and I don't like it. And you deserve that 5-minute major. And I don't get how you don't get thrown out when David Backes did like a few weeks ago, or like a week ago, for a hit that was not even remotely as bad. I think that's more egregious about this, the whistle. Like, it's happening in 3 seconds. You're not going to score because of the hit. The only thing that, like, really makes you hit a guy like that is because you're just rude and classless. That's it. No, there's no room in hockey for that. No room. He deserves a suspension, but guess what he didn't get? A suspension. This guy's walking away without a suspension. Don't know if you know that, but I found that out on Twitter today. Hopefully Twitter's right and I'm not telling you false information, but he's not getting a suspension. Anyway, even period, but the Jets got the puck in the net more, which, you know, kind of important in the sport. Bruins were sloppy with their own puck, like I said, with Marchand at the beginning. There were other instances, just none that led to goals like that one. And we're down 2 going into the third, but the Bruins are seemingly pretty good on the comeback when they're down. But the Jets are also extremely good when they're up. I think they were like 34 and something, went up by 2 goals. And 34 wins in a season, like, that's what like some bad teams get. And that's what they get when they're up by 2 goals, which, you know, they probably don't, you usually don't get 2 goals going into the third. But Jets are a very good team, as you can see by the 104 points that they have this year. Yes, that is a Thrashers logo. Yes, the set of pennants is old. Moving on. Since we started out the period with the 5-minute major against Morrissey, we have a 5-minute power play. And the Bruins would utilize this very well. And let's see. 1:45 into the power play and into the period, Danton Heinen gets a goal. Danton Heinen passes it across ice. It gets deflected into a bunch of players in the corner. Some Winnipeg player whacks it out, and this comes to Danton Heinen at the top of the slot. He walks in a little and snipes posting it in. This is a filthy snipe. In the slot, you know, they're professionals, but this is a filthy snipe by Danton Heinen. Makes the score 3-2. And, yeah. Oh, and the offsides controversy, he kept it in. It's barely on the line, but he kept it in. Winnipeg challenged it. Not the smartest move in the world, because if you lose the challenge, you get a penalty. And what did Winnipeg get? A penalty. So there's 5-on-3 for a whole 2 minutes. And this is a very crappy 5-on-3 power play, except for the last 20 seconds where Krug finds Pastrnak coming into the slot. Pasta buries it one time, like right about here on Hellebuyck, because Hellebuyck was not ready for that, because he snapped that the second it came to him. So that was a quick release by Pasta, which is important on a goalie, because it was past him before he could even look up. And that would make the score 3-3, and you think, we're right back in it. Yeah. Anyway, we go into the next notes. Moments later, literally moments later, Khudobin plays the puck behind his net to Nick Holden. Who have I not been high on lately? Nick Holden. Nick Holden does not get the puck. It fumbles off him, comes out to Tanev, and what does Tanev do? He sees Heinen, so he goes for the wrap because the net is going to take Heinen out of the play. Nothing really Heinen can do there, but Holden has to come to Tanev. Holden does not come nearly enough to Tanev because he's too worried about the guy in front. You take out Tanev. If you go aggressively at Tanev, he's not getting the puck to that guy. And if he does, you accept it because he just let him wrap it in. And Khudobin couldn't get over in time. Khudobin probably should have been able to get over in time. But Holden needs to play him a little more aggressive, in my opinion. I'm not a big Nick Holden fan, but that was bad by him. The fumble and then not playing aggressive there. Just not a Nick Holden guy. Anyway, there was still 31 seconds left for the Jets to kill the penalty after this. And, oh yeah, that was a Tanev hat-trick. His 7th goal of the year, 3rd of the game. You do the math. About 40-something% of his goals came in this game. Anyway, missed call on Lowry with a little left on his 5-minute major where he throws it over the boards. Clear as day it's over the boards in my opinion, but the refs didn't see it. So, you know, you don't get those calls sometimes. Penalty's finally over. 3 goals on the power play. 2 for Boston, 1 for Winnipeg. Anyway, we gain a goal back on Winnipeg, which is big, you know. I'll take it. 5 minutes into the period, we get 1 goal back on them. Not bad. Anyway, Scheifele would shortly after go to the box later for a cross check in the corner with anyway, Scheifele, I did not realize how much of a complainer this guy is. Jack Edwards even said, "Who does this guy think he is? Crosby?" Which is very how I was feeling when I would see Scheifele talking to the ref. He's kind of pissing me off a little. But I like Scheifele as a player, great player, but a little too much whining in my opinion, especially on some calls that didn't deserve it. Like he was arguing for Morrissey on that hit against Grzelcyk, which is absurd. Anyway, 8:06, a little into the power play, simple. Krug gets it at the point. No one comes to Krug. Krug tees it up and goes top right corner. Absolute filthy snipe. Oppo taco, as they say in baseball. Krug's 14th of the year, career high in goals for him. As I've said in past videos, having a career year Torey Krug is. Both sides of the ice, probably his best work yet ever in his career. Ties the game 4-4. There was 4 goals in 6 minutes and 20 seconds in that span. So the last 4 goals I've gone over in the third, Heinen, Pasta, Tanev, and Krug, all happened in 6 minutes and 2 seconds. And they were the only goals in the third period because it was very tight after this, extremely physical after the hits that have gone down that I mentioned. The two teams had some animosity towards each other going down the end. It was good playoff hockey in the third after this, very tight. I forgot about the call on Kevin Miller. Kevin Miller hits Tanev shoulder to shoulder, but Tanev goes down like a little baby, fetal position, and he draws the call because they think Miller's retaliating for hitting Grzelcyk earlier, and I just kind of looked at it as that. Winnipeg didn't score, so I didn't think I'd get into it too much, but just thought it was like noteworthy. They had a solid kill, only 2 shots against on it, and they weren't that great of shots. Anyway, as I mentioned, going to overtime, a few notes to go over in overtime. Great blocker side save on Wheeler by Khudobin, and then a save on Laine from the top of the slot, which, that's Patrick Laine. He's like 2nd or 3rd in goals in the league. Big deal to stop him. Let's see. Donato had a good chance with about a minute left. Donato had a very good game. Well, not very good game. He had a good game. I didn't observe him too much to say good game, but I didn't notice him making mistakes, which is big for a rookie. Kyle Connor got a breakaway, but Marchand, like a boss he is, comes back on defense and basically makes it a no-chance attempt for Connor, so that was big. Then moments later, with 10 seconds left in the overtime, Marchand forces a Tyler Myers turnover, and this turnover leads to a Marchand breakaway. Marchand, clutch, overtime. I think he has 5 of those on the year. Sadly, he doesn't get one here. I think the clock was in his head a little. The clock's winding down, He's probably had that in the back of his mind. Goes for a low shot on Hellebuyck left side. Doesn't get it, but, we go to a shootout after that. In the shootout, Khudobin would stop little. Donato would score with a filthy backhand, forehand, then snapshot low. Scheifele would then filthy snipe here. Top right corner. I think he might have hit a little bar. Pasta tried a backhand move but got stuffed. Wheeler got stopped. Marchand got stopped. Laine gets a weak squeaking goal, which I don't know how Khudobin doesn't close this one down, but Patrick Laine, you chalk it up to the town on the other side. Heinen gets stopped, and I think Heinen hit bar too. So that was kind of like, you're kind of like, ooh, like one of those reactions. Dan and Heinen had a pretty good game in my opinion. Winnipeg wins 5-4 in a shootout. Now, as a Boston fan, you want every win you can get. As a Boston fan, you also have to understand you're not going to win every game on a road trip through the Central. So I wasn't too mad at losing 5-4 in overtime to Winnipeg. Winnipeg, they have 104 points. That's about the same as us. They're having a very similar year success-wise. And, losing to them on their home ice, not a big deal. In the playoffs, if we find them in the Stanley Cup, that's a little bit more of a big deal. But then again, there's no skills competition to determine the winner. So who knows who wins this game in the playoffs if it happens. Khudobin, some people call him Dobie. Khudobin and Hellebuyck have the same exact stat line, 28 saves, 4 goals against. Shootout goals do not count against for goals against, so same stat line. You don't see that too often out of goalies. Tanev, 3 goals, good for the Friar, the former Friar himself, Providence College guy, Brandon Tanev. Lowry, Krug, and Marchand with multi-point games. Interesting, the Bergeron, Pastrnak, and Marchand line, all negatives. -2 for Pasta, and -3 for Pasta, and Marchand -2 for Bergeron. Holden was the only one who had a multi-negative besides them. You know me, I don't like Holden, so I'm going to put that one on him. Plus minus, not a very, not a very good stat, but, it shows, how units perform, in my opinion, more than individuals. Holden had a lot of shot attempts early, which I liked out of Holden. I had to find something positive to say. First period, he was ripping out the net, and, you throw pucks to net, it might create something good. That was what I liked about Holden tonight, not much else. Scheifele talks a lot. I already said that. Don't need to go over that. Grizz is injured. Matt Grzelcyk is injured. We don't know how bad. Update, I'll tell you in the next video because I doubt he plays the next game. If he does, chalk it up to he just got roughed up. He wouldn't return, by the way, from that hit. No suspension coming from Morrissey. Went over that. Brandon Carlo and Ryan Donato got a little more physical tonight. Love to see it. Carlo's been good on this trip. Hopefully he stays good. Donato is probably going to crack my top 9. If you saw the lineup video, you might have been screaming at how stupid I am for not including Donato in my lineup. He'll probably get in there if he keeps playing the way he is. He's at a point per game. He deserves to be in probably, but I just like to see a little more before I put him in, because for all we know, he'd come out and have a crap next 3 games. Who knows? Bruins stat leaders, we'll go over this quickly. Not much has changed in base of rankings, but I added Donato at the bottom because it's fun to keep track of him. Marchand, 61 games, 33 goals, 49 assists, 82 points. Pastrnak, 75 games, 74 points. Bergeron, 57 games, 56 points, almost a point per game. Needs to get 2 points next game to get back to that. Krug having a career year, 69 games, 55 points. Heinen still chilling at the 5th spot, 70 games, 43 points. You can see the drop off from first line and first defenseman. Donato, 5 games, 5 points for the rookie. Great start to his career. 3 goals, 2 assists. Okay, let's go over the standings now. The Bruins, as I said, are at 105 points now. Tampa at 106. 1 point difference. The Bruins have 1 game in hand, which is huge, because if they beat Tampa, who they play on Thursday, the next game, which is tomorrow or today, depending on when you're watching it, is against Tampa in the Garden. We win that game in overtime or regulation, we hop Tampa and go up to the 1st seed in the Eastern Conference, which is huge, because you get home court until the Stanley Cup Finals, which is big. And you probably have it even in the Stanley Cup Finals unless Nashville makes it, or maybe even Winnipeg, depending on how they finish. Other things to note is 1 point against Winnipeg is okay. I already said that, but I thought I should stress it again. For Winnipeg, however, 10 points above Minnesota. No chance Minnesota catches them. They only have 5 or 6 games left. 5 points behind Nashville. Very little chance they catch Nashville, but they can do that. It's more realistic than Minnesota catching them. So, for all intents and purposes, the Winnipeg Jets are basically locked into the 2nd seed, which means they're probably facing Minnesota or St. Louis if they can climb up there. You'll also see I added the Stars because I thought I'd add teams that are somewhat alive. Avalanche fell from the 1st wild card to out. Ducks fell from their 3rd spot in the Pacific to to 2nd wild card. So that's just a movement in the West. That doesn't really affect us, but I thought I'd mention it. I decided to include Florida here because Florida mathematically is still alive and can catch New Jersey. 3 points back from New Jersey. 1 game in hand. Not mathematically good enough, but they can do it. And it's more realistic than Carolina, who is about 9 points back from New Jersey, needs New Jersey to not get a single point, and Florida to not pass them when not getting a single point. So they're eliminated. But yeah, big game on Thursday. I hope you watch it. I hope you come here to see the review. I'm excited for it. Go Bruins. I've been your boy Patar98. Hit like if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you really like the video. And I'll see you next time.